can't believe it's so crowded here. Maybe we should come back.
How about never? Does never sound good?
Boys, a family swim is a great way to kick off the summer.
Let's not forget, opening day is free.
Hello and welcome to Premiere Scene. I'm Nicola Johnston and we're here to see the further adventures of Greg at the DVD launch of Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3, Dog Days.
Play it loud. Let's all go crazy. That's pretty high.
Are you talking to yourself?
No,
You're talking to yourself because you're scared.
I'm not scared.
Then go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
First of all, congratulations on your huge success. It must just be a dream come true for you.
It's more than a dream come true. I've gotten to do things I never could have imagined, including being here as a part of this experience today to premiere the Dog Days DVD, so it really has been unreal.
What came first for you, Jeff? Was it the cartoon drawing or was it writing?
For me, it was the idea of Greg Heffley in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I came up with this concept of a kid who was doing an illustrated journal because I couldn't break in as a newspaper cartoonist. I knew that I sort of maxed out at about 11 or 12 years old in terms of my talents. And so I came up with this idea that allowed me to draw and write as a kid.
Very proactive child.
Right, yeah, he's really writing volumes of diaries, which is a little bit unbelievable in a way, but I think it sort of works.
And Jeff, what about this incredible journey that you've been on, adapting from the page to the big screen? What's that been like for you?
It's been really edifying for me as an experience to be a part of a filmmaking process. I feel like I've lived a whole nother life in the last 3 years. I've gotten to be on the set for about half of each shoot, and I've gotten to be the executive producer, and I've gotten to be in the movies a little bit. So I've seen a lot of different sides of life that I never would have seen if I didn't get this opportunity.
And what was it like when you first saw the film for the first time on the big screen?
I was really scared when the film came out. I had no idea how people would react to it. And of course, when the 20th Century Fox logo comes up, there's this big music, this big musical number. And I felt really nervous. I felt sort of a chill, and I was fearful and excited.
And do your stories come from your own childhood? Is there similarities there?
A lot of the DNA of my books is from my own childhood. The stories aren't exactly accurate, but you can look at the stories in the films and in the books and say, hey, that happened to me here, here, and here. So I feel like my family's stories are sort of baked into the stories of the Heffley family.
And when you're a writer, you're in your own head a lot of the time, and you're using your imagination in creating pictures of what these people look like. So what about the casting process? Were you involved in that for the films?
I was involved in the casting process for the films. I saw a lot of audition tapes, hundreds of audition tapes for Greg's in particular. And I got to say how I felt about different actors, and sometimes they listened, sometimes they didn't. But I think that they did a great job of picking these characters. I wouldn't choose a different actor for a single character.
And my final question is about getting that balance between the fun and the humour and slapstick, and then also the kind of more serious message of the books and the films. How do you get that balance?
I think what the movies do really well that my books don't do well is they provide an emotionally satisfying story. So that's been really exciting for me to see that my characters could tell a story that you feel, that makes you feel something. So I've been really, really pleased with that.
Greg. I'm gonna take a little vacation. Rowley.
I feel like a gangster right now.
Fregley.
What's that supposed to be? It's a human head. And look, he's smiling.
Sherlock.
I have been ensnared by my own handiwork.
I'm sure there's a lot of kids that are at home and sometimes, feel like they're not the most popular kids and they're kind of the underdogs, and having films and books like these are inspiring for them, I suppose. I was just saying, I grew up watching Goonies and The Flight of the Navigator on repeat over and over and over again, because I grew up, my mum was a single parent and she had to work a lot, so one of my parents became the TV every now and again, do you know what I mean? And that for me was what it was all about. We never had a lot of money, and you always felt like you weren't the most popular at school and stuff like that, and watching films like that you escape, and you believe that you can make it. It's very inspiring.
And in regards to your own work, have you worked with children before in any projects?
I actually recently did a film called All Stars, which is a spin-off to Street Dance, the Street Dance franchise. And so all the kids are the stars of All Stars. And you know that little boy Akai, the one who got to dance? He's the lead in it, and I played his dad. It's the first time I played anyone's dad in a movie. Obviously, I've got kids that are older than him, but it was really weird doing it. But yeah, working with Akai, I suppose it's a bit different because he's very, very professional. He's got really, really good parents and knows exactly what he's doing. But it can be hard sometimes, you know what I mean? But I think there's a lot of talented people out there.
And also, I think it's wonderful when a family can come to the cinema together and experience a film, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one good thing about Diary of the Wimpy Kid. You know, we go to a lot of premieres and I'll show the kids the tickets, and my oldest ones will be like, and the youngest ones will be jumping for joy. But when I showed them this one, everyone wanted to go, you know, because the older ones, I've got 12-year-old, the oldest, and he kind of reads a lot of these books as well and has grown up reading them, so he's happy to come as well as the rest. So it's good for me. I've got kids of all ages, so it's all good.
And am I right in saying that you're in the editing suite at the moment? You're doing some producing work?
Yeah, well, I just finished directing a short stroke pilot called The Charlatans, which is pretty much, you know, it's similar to The Hustle. It's about a group of kids that go out and do cons rather than adults, so it's for a younger audience.
Holly.
Why don't we play doubles? Patty and me versus you two.
Patty.
Yes! I mean, sorry.
Manny.
No! Want to see my hands?
Sweetie. And Roderick.
When did you get a tattoo?
There's a lot of things you don't know about me, Greggy.
You've worked with children a lot, and it's good to inspire kids and get them to use their imagination.
I think it's really good for children to be active, and this film does make them want to be active and encourage parents to be active with their children. With these sedentary lifestyles, we sit around too much. Do you know what I mean? We're at computer games, we're things that are really, really, you know, inactive, and we should be more active. I run a performing arts school with 120 students, and they are all permanently active. So I suppose I'm lucky. I see the good and the bad because I go into schools and see the children and are not so motivated because it's parent orientated and family orientated that they're not active. So you have to encourage them to like find their thing because everyone has their thing.
And when you were growing up, what inspired you?
I was lucky. There was no computer games when I was around, so I had to make my own. You make your own entertainment. It was always outside. It was playing marbles. It was getting conkers. It was anything that was running around, getting our bikes, making a course with our bikes. It was a lot of outside. Kind of like I led the Enid Blyton, well, the Essex boy Enid Blyton.
And to come to the cinema as a family, again, that's a lovely thing to do.
It's so nice, you know, and I don't take the girls to the cinema a lot. We normally get DVDs, so we'll go to the shop, they'll choose their own DVD, and then we'll do it inside. But normally it's nice to come out to events like this because they get so excited. They get to come into London, and afterwards we're going to go shopping and have some lunch. So it's a bit of an event because we live outside of London, so it is a good event.
And your Performing Arts Centre, what age groups is that for?
We start from 3 and we go up to the age of 20, so it's funny, you know, when you teach the 3-year-olds, it's the longest hour. I then teach for 6 hours, but that hour with the 3-year-olds, you can't stop talking, because if you stop talking for 1 second, you lose their attention, you're never going to get them back. So you're constantly like, okay, get up, sit down, get a drink, and while you're drinking your drink, make sure you have to think about the routine, because while you're going to do the routine, and you're like that.
You're very dedicated to what you do, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Enjoy the film.
In case we don't make it, something I have to tell you. One time, I went to the bathroom, and I didn't wash my hands.
One time, I used your toothbrush to get dog poop off my shoe.
What?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Day.